So this is the sixth episode I'm recording, I think. I think I've released like three of them, there's two more left. And yeah, I have James Alonso in our holder.
Hello.
uh,
Hello,
Want to
YouTube.
introduce
Is it going on
yourself?
YouTube? Or
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay. Had to check.
You might know him as Jamie Cuba.
Yeah,
Do,
that's my
do people
channel.
call you Jamie, by the way? Or is that like your
Some
super channel name?
some people call me Jamie. My mum mainly calls me Jamie, but not yeah. Most people just call me James. James is like my actual like official name. So yeah.
Fair enough. And can you tell me what the deal is about the penguin?
What? Wait, which what penguin?
Penguins. There's penguins on your channel, your
Oh,
website, Discord.
I don't know.
What's the
I
story?
I just like penguins. I don't know what to say. Just
Do you have a favorite penguin?
probably chin strap.
Chinstrap.
Well, it's definitely up there. Yeah, maybe Emperor as well.
I was gonna say I would have thought Emperor.
Yeah, one of them. Well, they're both probably in the top sort of three. I don't know. I'll have to maybe like do a ranking at some point. But
Yeah, penguin tier list. That'll be pretty good.
yeah,
All right. Who's Bartholomew?
Bartholomew again, just a random name. I don't know. I don't know how you've spotted all these like random things, but yeah, it's just a random name I just thought of because I thought it was quite funny. I don't know.
I was doing some research of this, and I was looking at the Solvebiz website, and there's some pretty interesting information on there. Like you were cubing from when you were 6 years old. Like what?
Yeah, yeah. I mean that was just after like my dad introduced me to it because he just had like a 2x2 laying around, and I was just interested because I had like loads of other hobbies as well. Um, Obviously when I was 6. But they all sort of involved like something to do with hands. So I was like really into dominoes at some point, just like making long chains of dominoes. Uh, Also, um, things like Hot Wheels, all of the like cool stuff that 6-year-olds like. And then I found a cube, so that's where it
So
started.
pretty high dexterity from a young age.
Yeah,
And your dad invented a method for solving it,
he
you said.
did. I can show you if you want.
Yeah, sure, go
Alright.
ahead.
Okay, let me grab a cube. It's the greatest method to ever exist. Basically, I'll just use my like cube I've got here. We call it the a long slow method, right? So it's scrambled. Obviously, you solve like obviously you wouldn't do it this efficiently, but you solve a layer, yeah. Then you do like these like 7 moves, like over and over again in like some order until you get uh hold on, how do you do it again? It's like yeah, here we go.
Might be
Until you
bringing
get the
in.
corners of like the top layer. And then
Okay.
you get all the edges at the top. I feel like this is a method that's already sort of existed. But once you've done like that and you've got the like these layers done, you just do like the middle ones with like some basic algorithms. It's pretty basic, but it works, and that's the first method I learned, and it's like yeah, it's really fun actually. I sometimes I do solves with it just to see how fast I can get it, but
So
yeah.
it's like a combination of corners first and roux almost.
Uh, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I guess because you do corners first as well in Rue, like for top layer. Yeah, I guess.
But he just came up with it by himself.
Yeah, it's a bit of a genius, I have to say. Credit to my dad. What can I say?
Good cubing genes, huh?
Yeah.
And so you were 6 then. This is 2016, right?
Yeah.
And then I have your WCA page. Like 2 years later, you go to your first comp,
Yeah.
and you get pretty decent, pretty good. Like at that time, sub 20 was like the 4 minute mile. Now it's like less impressive.
Was it? I I wouldn't say it was a 4 minute mile achievement, but it was. Yeah, I mean, I think it's because I'd been cubing for quite a while before I went to my first competition, so I already had a bit of experience, and also I didn't really have any nerves then. You know, when you're like really young and you just like don't care about anything. So I was yeah, I think.
You didn't
And
have any.
what?
There was no stakes or anything. Right? There was no like, oh, I could win. You
No,
didn't have that.
I mean, having said that, I think I got a in my first 2 rounds. I think I got a +2 under DNF in some
Yeah.
order. Yeah, so there must have been some sort of pressure, but I mean, yeah, it was so much fun that first competition. I remember, I made so many friends that time. It was so good.
As an 8-year-old, what was it like back then compared to how it is now? Like, how many people were there? Sort of, are there some of the same people still competing that you know?
Uh, Honestly, I can't remember. I think back then, I actually didn't actually care much about the like top cubers or like top results. I wasn't very interested, to be honest. I was sort of just doing my own thing, and then it was more after lockdown when I started to get like actually closer to those top rankings that I took more of an interest. But I think, I mean, I do remember like when Chris Mills was still in the UK, and I do remember like following his results quite a lot because he was really fast, and he's been cubing or going to competitions since like years. So yeah, he was probably one of my biggest inspirations.
We're gonna get to the lockdown because like right after it, you show a whole new level. I guess a lot of people got pretty deep into cubing back then.
Yeah, that
Um,
was yeah.
no, do you want to go into it? Because I think going into it, you had like you just about got a sub 10 average. I think just before the lockdown,
Mhm.
and then you came back and you got like several solid sub 10 averages.
Yeah. During yeah, I mean lockdown was easily the biggest like catalyst in terms of my improvement because obviously I mean it's the same for everyone really, just being stuck at home, you've got so much more time to practice. Also, of course, I still wasn't in secondary school, so I'm still like I've got so much less like work. I don't have GCSEs or I didn't have GCSEs coming up back then, so I had like so much time to practice. I would literally put all of that time into learning algs, just like drilling so many solves. I remember I probably did like I don't know how many like tens of thousands of solves I would have done in those years, but um, and I didn't think I would really. I guess because competitions weren't like on then, I wasn't really focused on where I would then be coming out of lockdown in the rankings because I also didn't know how well other people would have improved. So I think it was a bit of a shock when I started to actually get start podiuming in competitions and starting to compete with people like Chris Mills. So that was definitely
You
interesting.
even doing well in finals. I can't remember when that was. I saw like Chris Mills's vlog on the UKC when he was. Um, well, it was the one after you won, I guess, the one that Nicholas Archer won. But
But yeah,
you, yeah, you
yeah, I
won
think
UKC pretty quickly. Like 22, you were in
yeah, I
finals.
think that was my first UKC. I was very happy with that.
Which is just insane. Like two 2 years ago, you had like a low 9 average, and then yeah, you had what like a sub 7 average.
Yeah, yeah, I did a lot of uh, I was learning quite a lot of algs in that in lockdown, and also like right when competition started again, and I realized I had like good potential. I also sort of locked in and learned um it really put my focus into getting up to be the top rankings, and then of course when Chris Mills like left the UK scene, that was um obviously like really big for my rankings, or in terms of like winning competitions, because like well the rankings stayed the same I guess because he was uh his UK rankings still remain on the WCA website, my the actual ability to win competitions, really racked up like gold medals on my website or on my WCA. So that was really
Do you
good.
remember your first comp win?
Uh, I actually don't. I think. Wait, I remember my first podium, which was my like 2x2, 2.79 average, I think, um at Guildford Open. But I don't actually remember which competition was my first win. That's kind of annoying. I might have to. I can
Uh,
look that up now maybe.
yeah, look it up.
Yeah.
Let's see, your gold. Stevenage Autumn B 2022. You got first place with the 745 average.
Okay. Okay, that doesn't even ring a bell. I think because all the Stevenages for me just sort of blend into one because I've been to
I,
so many. I think yeah,
I know what you mean.
yeah.
But like after winning, did that give you more pressure now that you're not just trying to PR, but there's a possibility of winning?
Yeah, so I mean once you start to win or I mean even just podium in competitions, you realize like it's not anymore about trying to reach those rankings. It's about trying not to lose your streak of podiums or wins. So it is like I'd say it's probably harder when you're. I mean, especially like right now, I've not been cooking at my recent competitions. I've like in finals especially. Um, it is actually really hard to maintain a good ranking when you're at the top. So
I
yeah,
think you had like a sub six average in the semis
yeah,
in
exactly.
the
So
last
in the
couple.
first rounds in like the semis, I mean, there's not really much pressure because all of the. I mean, obviously for other competitors, it might be about trying to get to the final or get to the highest round, but unless it's a big competition like Euros, actually getting to the final is it's like it's kind of free. So you've got to unless you like DNF or solve. So yeah, it's just about trying to convert that into wins.
I have a theory that the biggest pressure comes from a maybe. Like if you're absolutely not going to make it, or if you're absolutely going to make it, then there's no stress.
Mm,
But if you could make it if you do well, but also not make it if you don't, that's where there's the most pressure, where it's hardest to
I like that. Yeah,
turn well.
yeah, that's true. That was one time I remember that being quite a real thing was back in Euros last year or 2 years ago, Euros 2024 when I was trying to make finals. That was a big maybe, and I think I was like 2 places off, not making it into finals. And that's when I think I got like a 7.0 average in semis because I was really nervous. So I see your theory. I think that's probably yeah very very likely.
Is that something that you're thinking about this year for finals? For I'm assuming 3x3 and 2x2, they're the ones
Yeah,
that you're focusing on.
yeah. So I mean, it's kind of hard this year because I've got so many things going on. I've got Euros, which is obviously um biggest cubing thing, but I've also got GCSEs, and so I'm trying to. I haven't been going to many competitions because I need to like revise and do all that stuff. But it's also about like I'm not able to practice as much, and I haven't been like learning as many algs, so it's it's going to be interesting. Obviously, my goal is still to make it through to finals, but I think they've decreased the amount that can actually get through to finals for Euros this year. I think it was like 20, if I'm remembering that correctly, but now they've reduced it down to like 14. So I don't think I'm on the psych sheet. I don't think I'm actually scheduled to make it through to finals. Hopefully, I can. If people do bad and I do good, then
Pressure, right?
yeah,
People
yeah,
don't
it
do their
is quite a
best
lot of
in
pressure.
Euros
That is,
semis.
it's going to be a big maybe.
Where do you think your chances are better then for 2x2 or 3x3 in Euros?
I would have to say, I'd have to say 2x2, only because it's, for me, with 2x2, pressure doesn't really affect my performance because it's such a short event. So for me, when I think of pressure, it only really affects me when I'm having to like stop and recognize something in a solve, or like pause for a like ZBLO case or something. But when it's like a one look solve, like 2x2, there's no pausing involved, and so I can just like spam TPS, and I feel like I do just as well in competition for 2x2 as I do while warming up. Um, so it all just depends on scrambles. If the scrambles are quite TPS dependent, then I think I'll do quite well. If they're all about using the most optimal algs, then probably not, because I don't know that many algs. I just know full EG, and I don't know any like TCLL or LEG one. So in terms of that, then probably 2x2. And then if I manage to like not get too nervous, then 3x3 I've definitely also got a good chance. Um, but yeah, we'll just see how it goes. I won't be too disappointed if I don't get through, because the margins are really fine this year.
How would you describe your solving style for 3x3?
Um, Probably just like turn fast and hope for the best. Uh, I mean, I don't actually turn too fast. I mean, some people have said I've got like good turning, but it is quite locky sometimes. I'd have to say, if I had to sum it up in like one word, it would just be like chaotic. It's so different each solve. I try and plan two pairs and then just go from there. If I can put them in the back slots, then I'll do that. I try to make the best decisions for look ahead, but then often that doesn't actually like help, and I still end up pausing in the solve. So I'm not very consistent. But when it goes well, it goes really well, and when it goes bad, I like DNF. So I don't think
I
there's, yeah.
I saw your PLR time attacks recently, and you were
Mm.
like scarily fast at turning. I think like faster than everyone else that tried it by a mile. But when you were doing actual solves, um, I can't remember exactly, but I looked at like some of Danny Morgan's solves,
Mm.
and he actually had like slightly higher TPS, but he had lower move count. He had higher move count, and so his solves were ultimately slower. He had like 10 TPS. He had about 9,
Okay.
something like
Yeah,
that.
that sounds about right. Yeah.
So I think yeah, when you're doing an actual solve and like looking ahead and pausing, you're not really at your peak TPS.
Yeah. Yeah.
How,
I mean, I agree.
so how long have you been doing two pairs for in inspection?
Uh, I've been trying to do it probably since I started averaging at home sub 6, which must have been probably like just under a year ago. Then I've definitely put a big focus on planning cross plus two, only because I find when I get a decent start to the solve, then even if I've got bad look ahead, um at least I can, the pauses are gonna sort of cancel out the good start and not add on to the time. So um I mean, if that makes any sense, but I
I
need
think I get
to,
it. Yeah.
yeah, I don't end up planning cross plus two all the time. Most of the time it's just if there's like a cross that's like 5 moves or something, and being color neutral helps a lot with that. I don't think, yeah, if I wasn't color neutral, I don't think I could plan two pairs.
So if you were just dual, you don't think you'd be doing two pairs of
No, I
solve?
think I'd be doing one, or one definitely, and then probably like half the time two, but not consistently.
There's a lot of resources on doing cross plus one. Is cross plus two qualitatively different, or is it kind of the same concept, but you're just because you're better at doing cross plus one, you go through the same struggle again for cross plus two?
Uh, it's, I think once you've got the understanding for cross plus one, just like tracking pieces, and then knowing like the edge's orientation, and knowing like where the corner, like white piece is facing or whatever. I think once you know like the basics of cross plus one, it's more about just like drilling it as much as possible, and then once you're confident with cross plus one, it is just as you said, the same sort of struggle. It's all just about pattern recognition. It's not like a certain technique or algorithm that you learn. It's just just general sort of piece tracking and visualization and inspection. And the hardest thing I think is probably doing it in the 15 seconds because I did say if I was dual color neutral I wouldn't be able to plan two pairs. That's just like in the 15 seconds of inspection. Obviously if I'm given like 30 I could definitely do it. It's it is the same sort of struggle.
Like, if you're at my level all the way up to like 8 seconds, there's a bunch of resources on how to get better, and like there's going to be people making content at all these levels. But when you get to like sub 8, there's a lot less. You know, there's a lot less people that you can ask.
Yeah.
Was that difficult for you to like get into that barrier with like less help there?
Yeah, so the amount of resources aren't aren't amazing. Obviously, a lot of the things I use right now are just for algorithm learning. So there are a good amount of resources for algs, like spreadsheets and like bestsiteever.net. Like there's a good amount for algs, but for other techniques, for other techniques like cross plus two, I don't think you really necessarily need a good like resource to learn it. It's more about just experimenting like on your own accord, and just doing slow solves and stuff, and it's pretty sort of self-explanatory. But obviously there are other top cubers, I think like Dylan Miller and stuff. They're putting out really good content, especially for like high level solving. So it's definitely getting better, but like I said, I don't think you necessarily need like amazing resources.
You can still apply the sort of same stuff that slower people can learn from and take it further and sort of use that pattern
Yeah,
recognition.
yeah, definitely.
So how would you compare your style with like other UK top cubers?
Um, if I have to think, I mean, obviously Nicholas Archer does Rue, so I can't really compare that. Um, Maybe like looking at Monty Fox and like Johnny Kurlath or like
Taylor.
Danny Morgan. I think I've probably got slightly smoother turning. I don't like spam solves really hard or like aggressively and then pause for like as long. I think yeah, as I said, I think my turning's a bit smoother, not as fast turning, but and then I also probably put more emphasis on look ahead. But also a lot of these top cubers are learning, like for example Daniel Partridge, he knows like full ZB, and Caleb, he knows full ZB. So in terms of algorithm knowledge, I'm probably like lower on that end. But just general smoothness, probably that's probably what keeps me in the like on top.
How much ZBLL do you know at this point?
So I know full T, full U, and full L, and full H. So four full sets plus like half of pi. I'm like currently learning pi off bestsiteever.net, but again I haven't really had like a huge amount of time to learn algs.
How much time does it take you to learn a set and to feel like you're confident in it, in like to do
Was
it?
in like a full like pi, for example.
Yeah.
So I usually do it. I obviously do it in subsets, and each subset I try and learn in maybe like 2 days. That's the learning, and then just drilling consistently, like every other day for a week after you've learned them is like crucial. But in terms of like just learning them, probably 2 days per subset. So maybe like 2 weeks total for the whole set if you did it like every weekend, but I don't do that, so it takes me like a lot longer than most people probably to learn out.
Um, do you think that learning full, or at least everything other than soon and anti-soon, is like is going to be important, or do you think you can improve about that?
What for what level? For like my
Um,
level?
yeah, yeah. For like, you're going for like mid 5 average, right?
Yeah. Okay, so
Um,
I would say, uh, I mean, I didn't, I didn't used to think it was that important knowing all the ZB. I mean, obviously there's like Yiheng who's ridiculously fast without ZB, so there is definitely evidence of it. But increasingly, there's also people like Caleb and Daniel Partridge who have been just clearly improving after they've learned full ZB. So, and like yeah, as I said, Caleb especially is he's really using it to his advantage at the moment. He's been getting some great results, and I'm definitely gonna have to like step up my game in terms of learning Algs if I want to challenge him in the future.
he came close to taking your throne, so to speak,
Yeah,
recently in
yeah, he did.
crew.
Yeah, it's slightly concerning.
Like before that, I didn't really think you had as much competition, but yeah, how do you feel about your NR now and like what you need to do to keep it safe?
So, I mean, I need to I need to beat it, right? So I need to just whenever I get the opportunity, I need to actually try and utilize it. I've had quite a few averages now, which have had like sub NR BPA, and something always seems to go wrong or something. So with enough opportunities, I will definitely manage to improve it. It's just about improving it before Caleb does, and I think it's going to be a really interesting year this year. If we end up going back and forth with the NR, hopefully I manage to. Hopefully it's not that interesting, and I just like keep the keep the number one ranking the whole way. But it's certainly going to be. I think the NR by the end of the year is certainly going to be lower than 5.8. Like definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are closing in on what I call the Felix number. Like whenever someone beats, is it 5.51?
What for his average for his world record average?
Yeah,
I think it was 5.53.
right.
I think.
Whenever someone beats that, like it's for me, it's like a mental milestone. It's like sub
Okay.
Felix.
Yeah.
A little sad, but a little cool at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it is quite crazy as someone who used to admire or still does look up to Felix. Then, actually getting to his around his level is yeah, it is quite crazy. I have to say.
What is who is your favorite Cuba? Would you say?
What overall, like
Yeah, like
ever? Probably Timon, only because I uh I've actually like sat down like with him on or like next to him at competitions and just like practiced with him, and just the insane solutions that he manages to come up with, pseudo triple X crosses, um and I don't know, he uses ZB of course, and his solutions are so efficient. And then he like gets a three or whatever, and he's so nonchalant, like he just doesn't care about anything. And yeah, and he's also like really consistent and stuff. He's probably the Cuba I aspire to be like most in terms of like solving style, and he's also like a nice guy. So we went out to Nando's at some point, and that was amazing.
that's really cool.
Yeah, we've had some good times.
I have a story. In the Cubes UK Open, you were there, Timon and Felix were there. It
Yeah,
was really cool.
yeah,
Uh, Timon was getting fours because he's Timon, and
yeah.
um, like my mum was impressed. She normally doesn't really care about cubing, but she said to him after he did his last solve, she was like, "You're a genius," and he said,
Really.
"I know." He was like, "I know."
Well, that's actually tough. So
He's not
that's
wrong.
really
So um, yeah, what Timon's reminds me a little of you in the sense that your channel, you're you seem very deliberate in how you got to where you are. Like some people are like, I don't know, I just solved. You were like, I'm going to learn to be color neutral. Now I'm going to learn how to do cross plus one. And Timon did that because he got to a point where like he reinvented every aspect of his solving. Like before he was efficient but not good at turning.
Mm.
Now he got a lot better at turning. Not Yiheng level, but not many people are.
Yeah,
So.
I remember. Yeah, I remember actually seeing that in. I can't remember what season, but in Monkey League back in lockdown, there was a period when he was turning purposefully a lot slower. I remember, like in his matches, and like Philip commentating was always like mentioning it, saying like, why is he turning slower, blah blah blah. But after that period, he ended up like increasing his TPS, and his turn speed was like, or his turning was more accurate. His TPS was higher. He had better look ahead. Like as you say, he was like very deliberate. I wouldn't say I've been like as deliberate with anything, but there have been big decisions like becoming color neutral, and starting to learn a big AUG set, like ZB that yeah, have sort of it definitely changed the pathway for me. I think, yeah, you mentioned being color neutral, so being color neutral was quite an interesting step because I used to be color neutral before, and then for some reason I switched back to dual, like white and yellow, and then I'd got so accustomed to that when I was like averaging like 10-11 seconds that switching back to color neutral was actually like a lot harder than I thought it would be. But that was probably like one of the best decisions I made at that time to yeah, definitely improve my speed.
I think I discussed this with you before, but would you say that you have a bias? Or would you say that you're like fully color neutral?
Yes, probably a small bias towards white and yellow. I'm sure if you look at the stats of like my official solves, I would probably have a small bias, but that's I'd say that's probably if there's nothing good, then I'm probably more likely to like subconsciously recognize something on white or yellow. Like not even consciously, just like as a yeah thing in the back of my mind. I don't know. You'd have to like look at stats.
Do you use Yao for big cubes? I don't know if
Yeah.
that's connected because usually
Oh,
people do like white if they do Yao or big
yeah.
cubes.
So I used to. Yeah. So I do Yao, and then at some point, especially for 4x4, I did have a phase after becoming color neutral on 3x3 that I was like, I'm gonna actually maybe try and become color neutral for Yao. And so I think there are a few official solves that I've done like color neutral with Yao, but I think learning like edge pair recognition and stuff with Yao if you're color neutral is actually like really hard. So I think I did end up I have ended up just like sticking with being dual on 4x4, but and also I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Like centers are such a small part of a 4x4 solve that you can like easily get away with not being color neutral. So
Yeah, like in general, it's the fast burst events where it makes more sense to be color neutral. 2x2 Pyraminx, and then like pretty much no one is for Megaminx or
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. There's just not any point.
and then like 3x3 is sort of in the middle, I guess, between these sorts of events.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
definitely.
um, so, at what point did you feel like comfortable? When did you turn color neutral? How many years ago was this?
Uh, it was during lockdown. It's probably like 4 years ago or 5 years ago. It doesn't seem that long, but I guess it was. I mean, I made a series about it or like a playlist on YouTube, so I can't actually remember exactly when it was. I'd have to check. But yeah, around then.
It's kind of like back then it was a lot more recommended that you should be color neutral, and now it's not
Hmm.
recommended as much. Like
Yeah.
dual is sort of a big thing. Who is it at the top that's white only? I forgot his name. One of the Chinese YouTubers. There's like
What
one white only and one color neutral solver in
is
the top.
uh? I honestly don't know. Is either Yi Heng or Zhuan Yi white only?
They're dual.
But they're
Um,
dual, okay. Okay, well, I don't know anyone that's
yeah.
actually white only. Yeah, I mean, yeah, quite a lot are dual, but white only is. I think one of the Via
All right. Yeah.
brothers are probably.
Sebastian.
Is it
He's
Sebastian?
white
Yeah,
only. Yeah. Yeah. He
yeah,
was in Stevenage a couple of months ago. I asked him about that. Um,
yeah. Or what did he say? Was he planning on changing that, or probably not? I
he's
guess.
like he just plans cross and sometimes first pair and
Yeah, fair enough. Pretty chill about it. I guess that's the way to go. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, there are more important things than the cross color in solving. So if you're fine with just doing white, then so be it, I guess.
I mean, I'm white only, but I do think dual is better. But I think now if I switch, I'd become worse for a while, and I don't want
Yeah,
to do that.
yeah. I mean, it's a trade off. I'd recommend it. I think. I think you've got time to adjust. But no, but dual is actually like not that hard to become dual. It's more because like the edge patterns like green red or blue orange, they're the same for F2O. It's just like cross and last layer that can be a bit confusing. But no, I'd recommend being dual actually.
And I think Timon at one point said that if you're dual, you get a lot of the advantages of being color neutral because any block you can involve in the cross and
Yeah,
cross the
that's a
solve.
good point. So if you've got like a big block on a scramble, like say it's uh yellow, green, orange, like as like a 2 by 2 by 1 block. If you are just white, you can't you can't utilize that. But even if you're just dual, there's gonna be one of those colors, in that case yellow, that is gonna like apply to your solve. So I think that is a good point. Um, being dual is probably um yeah, it probably gives you like 80% of the benefits of being color neutral, and then occasionally, and also actually another good thing is that if you do get a really lucky scramble and you're dual instead of full color neutral, you've actually got a bit of an advantage because you don't have to spend time looking at the other colors. Whereas if you're full, I often end up spending like a few seconds or a couple seconds on like every color of that block. So with the same block that I mentioned, you're going to be wasting a lot more time trying to choose the best color rather than actually deciding what to do for second or third pairs. So yeah,
In computing, they call it breadth first search versus depth first. So if you do fewer colors, you look at each one more deeply, and you sort of
right.
plan further in the solution. Or you can sort of look at each one in a more shallow way, but you look at more colors.
Okay. Well, it is just like in terms of like memory management and stuff.
Yeah, just like different ways, like computers can handle algorithms and like search through many different options to
Mm.
like look more deeply each one or look very quickly at a bunch of things before deciding on something.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, fair enough.
What, what do you think? Like the in the next few years, the top five, what techniques will they be using? What will it look like to get to that level?
In the world,
Yeah.
I think um, I mean they're still gonna be like 8 years old. Uh, that I don't think I don't think it will change too much. I think Yi Heng will still manage to hold a good position, although I don't think he'll be second. I think probably a couple people might overtake him just because he doesn't know the relevant algorithm sets. If he if he learns more ZBLO, then he's got like better turning probably than Zhuanyi, so he could retake the lead. I mean, anything could happen really in the Chinese community because I don't know how they actually train the cubers in um in their like cubing societies or whatever they have over there. So uh yeah, I think, and then like more European cubers like Timon and stuff. I think Timon's got most of it nailed, apart from like maybe turning. His solutions are like crazy, and I'm not saying his turning's bad, but compared to some of the Chinese kids, um, if he
Yeah, his
manages
turning is
to,
just good. It's not, or like
yeah,
really good. It's not insane.
but also I think the people that are able to do cubing as their job, like Timon, and obviously like the Chinese kids that haven't got like have got all the time in the world, they're gonna have such a big advantage over people like me who, I mean, I don't want to be like a cuber like full time or anything. I want to actually have like a life. I don't know what to say. I'll never, it's just a hobby for me.
What do you want to be like in the
Um,
future?
I mean, I'm like really interested at the moment in coding. So,
Ah,
I mean, I might maybe like after the session I'll show you one of the things I'm making at the moment. It's I'm really interested in programming and I want to probably be like a software engineer of some sort. Um, and I haven't really thought too much about what I want to be other than that, or what company I want to work on or work at. But something to do with software, maybe even like UI or UX design. I'm like really interested in. Um, and then there are also like apprenticeships and other schemes you can go in for like other engineering stuff, which I'm also like somewhat interested in. But I think mainly it would be some sort of software thing, a bit like a bit like you. Maybe I'll start my own company at some point.
that would be cool. It is addictive. Like
It
I've been
is
coding since I was 15, and it's
really,
my
yeah,
most serious obsession, I think.
yeah, it is, yeah. I mean, what can we say? It's definitely exciting. I mean, I'm learning so much at the moment. I'm doing like JavaScript and web development stuff. Although at school, it's because I think mainly I was introduced to it at school, like Python and stuff. I take computer science. But the sort of like the level you get up to in school is so low compared to what you actually need. Like there was a 12-hour Python course I watched on YouTube, and the stuff you learn in school is like the first hour of it, um, and it's not even like an advanced Python course. So there was so much I wanted to explore and actually get better at. So yeah, I mean I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, but I think yeah, definitely something to do with coding probably.
I've been coding obsessively for 12 years, and there's still a lot more to learn. So
Yeah, I mean you've made a cool app, so you're doing pretty well then.
thank you. Yeah, now I get to like I've been cubing from when I was about 11, so
Hmm.
I get to sort of bring it back and involve it with coding, keep
Yeah, it's always
two
good.
hobbies together.
Yeah, it's always good when you're able to code something that is you're actually passionate about as well. It brings it to life, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like you think about it all the time. It's not just like homework or required of you or work.
Yeah,
What do you do when you're not coding or cubing?
I
Or
do a
thinking
lot
about
of.
penguins?
Yeah, other than that, obviously that's the main thing. Uh, I do a lot of sport. I love sport, so I do like um when I'm able to, I'm doing like badminton, basketball, tennis. I'm doing like calisthenics at the moment, which is kind of goated. So I do a lot of sport. Obviously, I've got school and homework and revision and all that crap. Those are sort of the main the main things. I do like a lot of chess because I'm a bit of a nerd.
Ah, same.
I do enjoy I do enjoy chess. Oh, I'll have to add you then.
Are you in chess.com?
Yeah. Wait, what's your rank? What's your rating?
1400 on Rapid.
Oh shoot. Okay. That'll give me some competition. I've got I think I'm like 1100 or something. So I need
What time controls do you play?
3-2.
Okay, yeah, I don't normally go that fast. Like sometimes I do bullet, but like mostly I
Yeah.
do blitz and
But
rapid.
bullet's just like brain rot chess. Bullet shouldn't
Yeah,
be a time control.
I've been doing classical as well in the chess club, and that's exhausting.
But yeah, I can't imagine doing classical. That's like the opposite. That's just like boring.
That's yeah,
I don't know.
that
Maybe
must
it's more interesting.
it leads to interesting games, but it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine.
Um, so how do you compare chess with cubing? Because a lot of cubers play chess. Do you think that they have any overlap, or do you think they're just two different ideas?
Yeah, I think they do have a bit of overlap in terms of it's less about like IQ or intelligence and more about just like pattern recognition and like spotting, yeah, like spotting certain patterns. So, um, yeah, it's like you don't have to be like smart to cube or to play chess. You just need to be able to like spot the right thing at the right time. Um, Obviously they've both got like the timing aspect of it, and like being under pressure as well. I haven't actually attended any like actual chess tournaments or anything. I just play online, uh, which I think is probably most people. And I guess that's also a similarity with cubing. Like there are a lot of cubers that haven't attended competitions that probably should. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't really thought about too like the similarities um much, but they're both like really addictive, and you can always learn more and get better.
I have a theory that chess is like backwards cubing because the starting position is known, just like the final position in cubing, and then the middle game is kind of like F2L, and then
Okay.
openings is kind of like last layer. There's people that know a bunch of algorithms, and then there's people that are sort of lazier and just know a few.
Okay. No, I see your theory. I see your theory. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, yeah, they've still probably got more similarities than differences.
Yeah, and like that's probably why a lot of cubers like both. Like, there's been a few comps where I just see people with a board out or
Yeah,
on
yeah, one of the
chess.com.
mini like plastic magnetic boards. Yeah, they. I always find that kind of funny. Like you've come here to do a like whole event, and then you just like whip out the chessboard.
I did actually buy one at a comp. I bought like a travel
But
chess set.
okay, what was it like? Because some of them are really bad quality, and some of them are like decent.
I mean, it's quite small. It's magnetic, which is convenient.
Mm.
Um,
Okay,
you
yeah,
know,
I mean fair enough.
good for travel. But
Yeah.
on your point about people doing it online and not showing in person, I was like that. It's like my first comp. You were there actually. Was autumn 23, Ken?
What? Stevenage?
It was in Maidstone.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know who you were back then. I didn't really know the cubing scene. I'd heard of Chris Mills, who apparently attended my uni, but it was during lockdown. Even though we were
Really? Oh
both in
my
the
god.
engineering department, I didn't know who he was.
Fair enough.
And I briefly went to sixth form with Alex Lau. He was a year older than me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
We were in the same math club, but I didn't know he was a UK champion at the time.
Really? Yeah. So you've had maybe this is what's like shaped you as a Cuba.
Yeah, maybe. But I remember I went there and you won that comp. You got like a 6.3 average or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I left early or something like that, but I saw that your name was like as the winner, but I didn't know who that was, even though I think I may have judged you. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
I can't say I remember that. Sorry.
I think I did because it was my first comp, and I think I did something wrong when I was judging. So you explaining how I was supposed to do it,
Okay.
um, but it was
I hope I
literally
wasn't
like
like rude about it.
no,
Prob-
you
Hopefully
it
not.
it saved me a lot of trouble afterwards to get it
How
right the
dare
first
you?
time.
Yeah.
Like I think I'd been cubing like over 10 years by that point, but I hadn't been to a comp.
Really? Wow. Yeah, that's longer than me. Well, obviously it's longer than me.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that is quite a while to be fair. I think most people it's like probably a couple years or something. Or
yeah, it's
maybe
like
even less
pretty
than
soon
that now.
after that their
Yeah.
parents like stop talking to me about this. Go and find people interested in it.
Yeah, I mean it's becoming a lot more mainstream now, I have to say. And I hope it continues to grow as well because it's a great, sport.
Yeah, I hope so as well. Like I hope it goes the way that chess went in the last couple of years, especially after the
Mm.
pandemic,
Yeah, I think the
where
pandemic's accelerated a lot of these sort of niche hobbies to be fair.
yeah, with like just like with chess, with the Netflix documentary, or well, with the Netflix, yeah, chess had the Queen's Gambit, and we had Felix and Max Park make
Mm.
everyone want to do
Oh
cubing.
yeah, true. Yeah.
You met Max Buck, didn't you?
I met him. Yeah, I've met him once at the UK Championship 2022. Yeah, I got his autograph and stuff. And then at the end, when I won, he did like the most epic selfie of me and Timon with him, where I think I'm like blinking, of course. But
That
yeah,
that is
that was
so
fun.
cool. And um, let's talk about your dad a bit more. Like, was he?
Mhm.
He seemed to be pretty supportive to getting you to where you are at
Yeah,
this point.
he's been great. He's been epic. He takes me to like most competitions. Um, and yeah, obviously I'm planning to like travel on my own in the future, but it's been like he's been like so good. Usually he shares the journey with like someone else, but um yeah, he's obviously what got me started in cubing. He's like really supportive in actually in the competition, you know, telling me I need to like do better and um just like with my nerves, like sometimes they get like pretty bad. So I've got to. I am quite I'm really grateful to my dad for being so supportive with my cubing.
Because it must have been strange at the start, right? Your kid wants to go to all these comps and gets obsessed in this rabbit hole.
I think it's he actually like found out about competitions. Um, I think I mean I probably did around the same time, but we were both sort of excited to go to one because it's obviously he's not like totally like an alien to the sport because he, obviously knows how to solve it and has taught me, and we basically knew just as much as each other, apart from like I knew a few more algorithms and stuff. So we were both sort of just as excited when we found competitions existed and well, the whole competitive world and side of speed cubing.
Just thought of your next video idea, which is maybe your dad can collab. The Jalon slow method.
Oh no! Well, we have actually. Oh my! At some point, I was like, "Dad, you need to film a tutorial on this method," and we actually like sat down and did it. But but I can't remember what actually happened to the video. I think we actually made it, but he said he wanted just to make it just for like because other parents were like asking him how he does it, and he said he wanted like a video to like show them. So I think it's out there somewhere. It's probably on like unlisted or private, but we did actually do that.
Fair enough. You're
God.
actually pretty good at the YouTube thing for like for a good cuber because you have cubers that are like good at YouTube but not necessarily that highly ranked that fast. And then you have cubers that are like they're really good at cubing and then they sort of just film the fact that they're good at cubing.
Yeah,
But
well,
you've got
upload their
like
results. I've sort of become that in the
yeah.
past. In the past like year, I've just uploaded results. Yeah, so I mean, I got into YouTube. I mean, I've been watching YouTube for like years, but it's actually actually making videos. I think I started that quite young as well, and obviously I was like crap at the start. My first video is where my voice is like it sounds like a mouse, and like my explanations of stuff are really bad, but it's like anything. It's just practice, and I think yeah, one of the appeals of my channel to some people is that I am like a decent cuber, with and
Decent.
I try to offer like good tips and stuff. So uh, yeah, I think that's probably what makes my channel somewhat unique. But there are top cubers now, like Dylan Miller, as I said, that do sort of similar things and are more consistent with it. So I'm not the only one at the moment, but back when I started uploading my sort of tutorials, then they were a lot more popular.
Were your videos were they like you just did something and it's fresh in your head so you're going to explain it like you just
Um,
became color neutral or learned how to do cross plus one.
it was a real mix. So some of my videos that are yeah, I like that. Others I put a bit more thought into. Like back when I had like in lockdown, when I locked in on YouTube, I would spend like I would have a weekend or something, and I'd think, oh, I've got a weekend. I might want to make a video. What should I do it about? And I'd like brainstorm some ideas, but most of the time, uh, yeah, it's because something happened or because I got like a PB and I wanted to reconstruct it, that sort of thing. But yeah, I sort of learned editing and uh, learning how to use different editors and how to speak a bit better on video, like through my journey. And I'm still not amazing, but it's all good experience, you know. Like in the future, if I need to film something for a brand or I don't even know, like it's always a good skill to have.
I mean, I've been trying to do it recently, and I appreciate how difficult it is a lot more now. So I can see when someone's doing a good job, even when I'm not.
Yeah, you're doing a good job. I've been, looking at your videos and stuff, so it's all good.
Okay. So we've got a few minutes left for this recording. I wanted to finish it
Yeah,
off
what is it, an
with
hour?
yeah. So
Yeah.
there's about 4 minutes left. So I wanted to finish it off with talking about Solve Boost.
Okay. Is this where I get to plug my
Yeah,
service?
exactly.
Okay. Or what about it? Or anything specific? Or
So yeah, how did you start it? You were in like high demand, people asking you how to get better. Is
yeah,
that
so
what's
that's sort of the main thing behind Soul Boost is I was asked like a lot in competitions how people should aim to improve, or what algorithms they should learn. And I knew there were coaching services out there, but I didn't really see one. Most of them were like video call only, and I thought there's got to be like a way I can share my resources more personally other than just tutorials. So I created Solve Boost. It took me ages doing all the branding, doing all the website design. Um, but it has paid off. And also, of course, I'm a teenager. I wanted a bit of a side hustle, but it's I think I've been able to help so many people like throughout the few years I've had it, and it's been so rewarding as well.
and it's gone through a couple of iterations since then. Like it really looks it looks really good now. Like I'm looking at the website and it's very clear, very good story, very good writing.
Thank you.
The example stuff is pretty cool as well, like the drills that you have.
Yeah.
Caleb Joshua Thomas, he told me he had a session recently and it was pretty
But
good.
yeah. Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did have
personal.
a session with him. That was good.
Yeah, okay, you're doing great stuff. You're NR holder, deep into coding, got your own side hustle, your own hobbies, good at school, so keep it up.
I'm having a good life. What can I say? I'm locked in at the moment. Just need to get GCSEs out of the way, then then I'll be like more free to do more cubing and stuff. Probably over the summer as well. I'll be able to do more.
For Euros and
Yeah,
hopefully
yeah,
make it
definitely.
into finals.
That's the next big thing. I can't say I'm like, confident that I'm gonna make the finals, but I will definitely try my hardest. Definitely learn as many algorithms as possible. Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna go to Euros, so hopefully I'll see you there.
yeah, definitely. Definitely make sure to catch up with you there. That'll be good fun.
Alright, I'm gonna end this call, but if you want, you can show me your coding stuff on
Oh,
Discord.
yeah, I'll show you that on Discord. That's great.
Alright, thanks for being on the Yact podcast.
No
James
problem.
Alonso.
It's been great. Yeah, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.